Hey, y'all. Welcome to the podcast, Girlfriend, We Got You. I am your host, Ashley Allen, and I am joined today by the beautiful, the wonderful, the ever smart, the ever creative, the ever everything that ever was, Melissa Marie.
Woo! Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
I love that. I love that hype right there. Like, this is her sober.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's a reason why I laid off alcohol for a while.
I
No.
love it. It's like when people question if I'm sober, and I'm always sober, but I'm like, that just tells me I'm doing something right. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
I'm the perfect hype person. Okay.
Right. I'm always this fun. What are you talking about?
I'm excited. Today's episode is creating equal value, and I could probably talk about this all day.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is something that I feel everyone definitely either has a story on or has been affected by it. And yeah, I mean, there's definitely that every walk of life is feeling like there's no like real equality. I feel like everyone is being affected by it. And being a female, especially, I have had my own experiences. And Ash, I know just recently you've been going through some like crazy stuff too.
Yeah, it's been nuts. I mean, in the workplace, it's kind of crazy. I mean, earlier, when we were talking, I was telling you, like, what year is this? Like, I can't believe this is still happening.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
I'm like,
it's true.
yes. Yeah, I'm kind of appalled by it. And then it's very frustrating too, because a lot of people I feel like have a limited belief system where like not everybody can be at the top,
Yeah,
right? And I
right.
feel like men have this just natural, and I'm just using men because that's really what my experience has been, especially lately. But men, I feel, have just that domineering personality where, you know, they just kind of feel like they're entitled to overpower you or overpower a woman. Even when their egos come into play, they overpower each other, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's true. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And then
I
as a female, if you put your 2 cents in, it's like, oh my God.
the woman, is she on her period?
Oh, that's just menopause.
She raised her voice.
Right.
I'm like, I will murder you. And then it will look like you're on your period.
Right.
I'm like, no, sir.
Right.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Oh, Lord. So what are some things like, I don't know, what do you feel like you've had to battle with as far as like feeling equal and appreciating, others appreciating your value?
um, living in the north where I'm at, and just for everyone, just so you know, I'm in the far north of Wisconsin. So I'm pretty like I'm central Wisconsin, so I'm pretty far up there, pretty close to the Canadian border. It's driving distance, let's just put it that way. And it's still very small minded at times here. So definitely when there has been things that have come up, and I could come across very, very strong. And when I do come across very strong, I definitely, even from females, I've actually gotten some like, just like backlash, like, oh my gosh, she said that. And then I just think to myself, well, what I said wasn't incorrect. And what I said wasn't disrespectful. What I said was pretty accurate. However, then I go back and I'm like, oh my God, if I was a dude, like I'd be totally applauded for this. And instead, I'm being shunned down to it. So it's just that still like, oh, she's a woman, just, maybe she just needs to keep her voice down or not say anything. That's a whole other thing too, is like, why'd she say something? She shouldn't have said something. Or they'd be like, oh, you shouldn't have said anything. And I mean, like, but it affected me and it hurt me or it bothered me or it needed to be said because that person was incorrect or out of line.
Right. Right. It's like you get in trouble for holding other people accountable.
Yes, exactly. Or for creating boundaries. That's a whole other thing too, is that whole creating boundaries.
Yeah. No, I get it because it's funny that you say that because literally today, and those of you that don't know, I worked really hard and really fast to get to the position I have right now in the current corporate company that I am working for. And I am in upper management, and it is a very heavily male dominated industry. And my direct supervisor is, in fact, a male. And I had a situation at work, and it was sexual harassment, and it needed to be addressed. And I wanted to address the staff member that made the offense towards me. And my supervisor tells me today to pretty much, he says, don't go into detail about the whole situation. And he was like, you just don't really want to talk about a lot of things. I was like, I said, wait a minute. I said, excuse me, what are you afraid of me talking about? What do you not want me to say here?
Right,
You know,
right,
and what is the point of the meeting?
right.
Like,
Come
what
on
are we
now.
doing? What are we doing? And so, and he was like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm just saying, just keep it simple, stick to the point. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not gonna berate the man for his poor life choices. I'm not gonna, I am. That was the point. So
Right.
I mean, it was just, and and then come to find out, that's actually a close friend of his that he's known for years. And it's just, kind of men protecting men. And I even had to say
It's the
that,
boys club. It's
yes,
that old style boys club.
yes.
Yes.
And,
I see that a lot.
yes. And you know what?
Oh,
I told him too. I said, because you had brought up like it being a problem when you speak your truth. And he was like, and I told him, I said, it's too weird around here. This has to be addressed so we can all move
mhm,
forward because you can feel the
right.
tension. And
Yeah.
he was like, well, it's gonna get weirder, and it's because of the problem. I said, excuse me, because like he insinuated that it was a problem that I was going to address it. And so I said, I said, if your friend, and he would just eyes got kind of big because he was like,
Yeah.
oh shit. And I said,
Yeah.
excuse me, if your friend wouldn't have acted that way, there would be no problem to begin with.
Right.
I said, I'm not the one making problems. I'm about to resolve it. And he
Right.
was just like, looked at me because really, honestly, I could have called my HR manager, who in fact is a lovely woman of color I
Oh,
mean, she is really great. I mean, you guys, to have an HR person
I love it.
who is so diverse and has your back, it's a breath of fresh air in this male dominated business. Okay. So, I mean, really,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, I could have taken it a step further and, this guy wouldn't have a job today, but I didn't. I really just wanted to set a boundary, like you're saying, set a boundary.
Yeah, you have to set your boundaries. Like you have to be like, hey, this is where I go. And you know what? I actually respect people when they set their boundaries with me. Like I've had that happen. I was actually at an airport, I would say about 4 years ago, and I was going to Boston. And there was a lady, and she was working at the airlines. And I knew I was in a different state because I feel like Wisconsin people are wonderful. Like we're such loving, caring people, but we're people pleasers. So we're constantly always like pleasing people. And this lady was already like, she put up our boundaries. She's like, this is the way it is. Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, I love her. Like, I was just like, yeah, you do it. And I feel like we need more of that. Is that when someone like puts their boundaries up or has like some sort of like line in the sand, it's okay. We should be applauding them. Like we should be like, yeah, you got this. Not the fact that, saying, oh, that lady's a bitch, or, that girl must be having a bad day, or whatever, someone might say.
Well, you know what it is though, because when someone creates a boundary, when people get offended by it, it's because they're like, well, wait a minute. I'm not comfortable with the boundary you set because I want to be able to conduct myself however I want towards you.
Mhm.
And you're telling me I can't. So some people take
Right.
offense to that.
Well, and the people take things personally all the time. like they take it like their ego, like it goes right into their ego, and they're like, oh, like, oh my gosh, like either I'm a bad person, or and they react to it, or it's like they feel like this like big impact on like their ego, and they're like they take it personal, like they were like this wrong person or whatever it was, and they take it like defensive.
Yeah, no, that's true. Some people really do get like that when you create a boundary. And, you know, whenever I finally had my sit down with this guy today,
Mhm.
I straight up told him, I said, if I was a man, you would not have done that to me. You would have
Right.
not have done that to me at all. And he didn't say a word. And I said, you've crossed a boundary with me. So no, anything outside of a professional conversation regarding work does not need to happen ever again with me.
Good
I,
for you.
I said, so
That's
it's,
awesome.
yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
he was just speechless. And I like literally wanted to stand up and be like, yeah, like it is, said what I said, but I was just like,
Right? Yes.
yes, but I mean it felt really good. And I want to also say this because if any of our listeners out there feel offended or triggered when someone sets a boundary with them, you know it's a good time to reflect.
Yeah.
It's a perfect opportunity to reflect, to kind of think, well, maybe I did something, or maybe there's something that I'm doing that's, you know, um, not really the best for this person. Or, it can also give you permission. I know when I've seen people set boundaries with me, it like gives me permission.
Hmm.
Isn't that kind of crazy? Because, when you see
Yeah.
somebody else doing it, you're like, oh, I can do that too.
Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
inspires me in a way to create and hold strong to my own boundaries, you know?
Right. Yeah. I love it. I love it when I see people creating boundaries and stuff. I'm that cheerleader. I'm like, yeah, do it, girl, or
Get it.
guy, or whatever. Even a guy, like
Get it.
whatever. Like I'm all about it.
Oh yeah. I think it's great. It's a really good feeling too. And honestly, like after that meeting happened and he walked out of the office, me and the two other supervisors in there, you could just feel the tension just fade away. Like it just dissipated in
Oh,
that moment. And both of them were like, oh, thank God that's over and we can move forward. And they both apologized to me for his behavior. And I was like, I appreciate the apology and I appreciate you having my back. And I was like, it means a lot. And
that's such a good story.
yeah, and it was actually really educating for them as well because they've never had a female supervisor in there before.
Hmm.
So it was a learning moment for them as well. And because I told them, I was like, you guys know me, I love inappropriate humor. Like, I love it. Like, I love it. Like, it's part of who I am. But,
Yeah.
it's with other managers, you have that line that you don't cross. We can make jokes or things like that and be comfortable around each other, but we are also very aware of where our boundaries are. And
Yeah.
they teach you that kind of thing in manager training and stuff too. And so anyway, it did end on a much better note. And a lot of the tension just, like I said, dissipated. It was really great. So it was definitely a new thing for me because I never had that opportunity because
I
I was
love
I was
it.
at a previous company years ago, I was sexually harassed. I didn't say anything because I was scared. And then I was sexually harassed again. And when I said something, my supervisor didn't want to take it any further and protected this man's job and said that I lied about it. Yeah.
No.
So bad. It's because I had I had a previous bad experience with that,
Yeah.
so I was really relieved that the way this ended today. So it
That's
was,
awesome. That's really awesome. I'm
it,
so proud of you, by the way.
thank
Like I am,
you.
I'm really proud of you. Like that's really cool. Like really good.
Took a lot of work to get here.
It does.
It
It
really did.
does. It really does.
It does, because when you're constantly fighting like stereotypes and stuff like that, especially I feel like another thing for us is single moms, because you and I both are single moms as well. And
Yes.
what triggers me sometimes is when people are like, oh, like you're a single mom. Oh, poor you. I want to be like, motherfucker, I have more money in my face than you pay for your mortgage in a month. Okay. Like, excuse me.
That's funny. You want to know what triggers me? This is what triggers me is when, because I do a lot of like, because I'm single mom and I date occasionally, but I don't date a lot. And so I do a lot of social events. Like when I do social events, I'm very comfortable doing it solo. So I'm really good at doing, going to social events and being like the solo person and not having a date. And what gets me sometimes, and this doesn't happen to me all the time, but what really kind of gets me as the single mom is when like wives or women get freaked out when I speak to their husbands. Has that ever happened to you?
All the time.
Like, I'm like, dude, I'm not stealing your husband. I'm just saying hi, like, and being respectful.
I know. And you know what's so weird is like I've had like friends and coworkers and stuff like that are male that we chit chat and stuff at work, and they don't want me around their wives.
Oh, that's so weird.
It's so weird. And I'm like, buddy,
Oh,
like, I don't know if last time you checked, but like, I don't want you. Like, don't trust me.
not interested in married men, just so everyone knows, like it's
No, no, thank you. No, thank you.
no.
And it's just like so weird because like, I mean, I don't know, it's like so bizarre. And I like it was funny because I kind of did a little survey today too. And I talked to a couple of the
I love it.
male managers and I was like, why don't we have like a Christmas party and people can bring their spouses and we can make it fun? And they were like, we're not bringing our wives to any work party. Even if you're going to be there or anything like that. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like it offends me. It offends me.
It's just their own insecurities. It is. But as a single mom, I've gotten that a lot. And I just think it's crazy. Like, I just think it's really, 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 really crazy.
I mean, do you like, are the wives are they like aggressive to you?
No, but I've had a couple situations where wives have like not talked to me, like, like just they will kind of like be in their own little clicky, like I don't want to say housewife group, but like they're like little
Like if they'll give you the cold shoulder.
yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
whatever. I mean, it's their own insecurities. I'm grown to the person where I am today, where I'm just like, snooze you lose because I'm fantastic.
I know. You know what I was thinking about? Like when that kind of stuff happens, I'm like, what kind of friends are you anyway?
Right.
What kind of friends are you?
Right.
I do. I hate that a lot. I hate that a lot. Like sometimes, or I was supposed to go to dinner once with a coworker and his wife. Like they were going to grill and stuff. They're going to have this thing at their house. And the wife was going to meet me in person and they were going to set me up with somebody.
Okay.
But what happened was she goes, show me a picture of what she looks like. And he pulled me up on social media and he showed her and she was like, she can't come. I was like, buddy, it's not like I stepped out of a Maxim magazine, okay? Like, I've got a fupa going. My thighs have so much friction, it's unreal. Like, what are we talking about right now? I was like, and it actually hurt my feelings.
I have been there before where it kind of, yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't
I
hurt
do
your
know. It's
feelings
just,
when they
yeah.
get like that. And it's like,
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, I just want a friend.
I know. I need my girlfriend. I need a girlfriend. I need someone to listen to me.
I was like, I wanted to go to dinner with y'all to make a new friend. I don't give a shit about your ugly husband with his nose bigger than my foot. Are you kidding me? Like, what?
I know.
It's so
I
not it.
know. Even if they're cute, like I have some girlfriends that have like attractive husbands, but because they're like my close girlfriends, like I don't find them attractive. Like it's the like weirdest thing. Like I have a couple girlfriends, they have some really nice, attractive husbands, but like because I'm so close to them, like I don't see their husbands in that way.
Right.
Like, and I wish people would kind of like understand that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost
And
like
they're good guys, like they're devoted to their wives. Like, I mean, so, but it's just like, I don't know.
it's almost like they think because we're single, like
Yes.
we're just desperate for anybody.
Yeah, like we'll take anything.
It's like, no, that's why we're
No.
single. Like
That is why we're single. It's because yes, and I don't tolerate much.
I know. I just said that.
Tolerate shit.
I was like, look, I don't know if it's like my life experience or like all the shit that I've been, I don't know what it is, but, or my age, but it's just like, I have a very like it's just small. Like, I just can't, I can't do it. So
I know. So you know the song "Another One Bites the Dust" from Queen?
don't tell me that's your dating life.
It's my theme song. I swear. And I'm so serious when I say, like, every time I end up dumping a guy or ending it, I do play Queen. I love Queen.
Oh my God. That is
Yeah.
so, like, you're like, time to go to my go-to song.
Yep. The other one bites the dust.
That is so funny. I don't think I have one of those. I don't know. I've been single for so long. It's
I know,
just
that's how I
like,
feel.
I've had like a friend that's like off and on. But it's one of those friends. It's like one of
Yeah.
those friends who, just meets your needs and is someone to like chit chat with sometimes.
Hey, and that is okay too.
I mean,
Seriously.
yes, I just, but then it's like the other side of the spectrum. Then I get my grandmother, like she used to pressure me, um, and say, you just need a good man. You just need a good man that's going to take care of you and your kids. You need a good man that's going to make good money. I'm like, I am the good man that makes good money. Like,
Right.
what are we talking about? And
Right.
like, she's like, now she's to the point where she stopped harassing me about getting married again. And she's like, well, I guess you're just gonna grow old and alone like me. He's 83. She's been divorced since like 1965. I'm like, shut up. Like, I mean, can you tell your grandmother to shut up? Because I want
No,
to.
I don't know. I don't think you can. However, I can relate to that because my mom used to kind of, give me some tidbits about finding the right person. Then you know what? I was really impressed with my mom. When she came to visit to help me out with like my cancer and my chemo and all of that, she saw how independent I was and even financially independent. Like she was in my like house, like she was in my like whole world. And she like has never really even said anything after that about a man. Like, I think she just is like, oh, she actually has got it. Like she's doing it. She doesn't need anyone.
That's so good though.
Yeah, like seriously. So I get the whole grandma thing because I kind of got that a little bit from my mom from a little bit, not too much long.
Mine's just really extreme though. She's like, you'll just die old and alone. I'm like, thanks for the support.
Hey, that's why you got dogs. You got little dogs like I do.
I do. And I kind of hate them. Like I have a love-hate relationship with them.
Mine are my babies. Like I'm that dog mom that like totally dresses my dogs up. Like
Oh
we
my
got
God.
Halloween costumes and the whole shebang.
Like it's so weird. Like I get like that when I first get a dog, and then I get kind of tired, and then
Then the
I'm
novelty worn off. Ashley's like, I'm done.
I'm done dressing you up. Like no.
You're like that Barbie doll that was cool at once.
Now I'm just like, just get in here. Let's be lazy. Like cuddle.
Yes.
With me. That's all I want. Just cuddle with me.
Right. Aw.
I know. It's really funny.
Aw.
I know. It's like, but I don't know. I just think it's so weird. And I feel like I don't know about you or about how your family get-togethers are, but like, the holidays are coming up
Mhm.
and yeah, I'm like the only single one. Yeah, I'm like the only single. Are you in your family?
Well, actually, I kind of am, but I really don't do much with my family for the holidays because we're scattered all over the place.
Oh, I see.
So like I either have the kids or I don't. Like the kids are with their dad 50% of the time and I have them the other 50%. So
Mhm.
they're depending on our setup that year is depending if when I get the kids and how I get the kids. And then other than that, because I work so much, like with the salon, I'm just working. So when it comes to actual family, I really don't do much.
Yeah.
I will be with my dad this year, and that'll be different, but because we're living together now. But that's a whole other subject.
But the good thing is like you did say though that he seems to be doing better now.
Yeah, he is.
So,
Yeah, he needs me. I'm glad that I'm here. We're all good. It's what family does, though. We're there for each other.
well, that's right. That's
You
right. I
know.
love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, the family's important.
But it's so funny because I was thinking about this too. I don't know if you ever think about this, but there's like a part of me that I'm like, oh yeah, being married again would be great, if it's like the one. And then I just think about how like I don't want to do another person's laundry.
You know what I think about is when I see the many women, I mean, I have tons of women who I do their hair and seeing them and being married, I will be honest, there might be 10% of married women that I do their hair that are happy in a good relationship that actually have the whole shebang,
Right.
honestly, like the whole shebang.
Wow.
And to be honest, when I see that, I have no desire to be married.
I know
Like,
it's kind
I
of
don't
like,
want to do it. Like, I wouldn't mind having a nice companion that I travel with and spend some time with and all of that. But to physically be married and be in a household with someone, I don't know if I could do it again.
um, I understand that completely because I literally think about, I mean, well, this might sound kind of shallow, first of all, but I think about like having to cook and
Oh,
like,
see, I love to cook, so I wouldn't mind. I cook for my dad. I'm like, yeah, I could cook for someone. But
oh,
that triggers you that you don't want that? Like, is it like,
look, I'm the kind of person that is like this because I love food. I
right?
love food. I'm not gonna
Oh, I
skip a
do
meal.
too.
But
I'm curvy.
yes, exactly. Like, oh my God, like there is no thigh gap in my future ever.
Right.
But Um, but I will say this though, like I'm not a big person that likes to cook. I sometimes I do, but I mean, we're gonna eat. One way or another, we're gonna eat. Like
Right.
I'm gonna
Right.
make sure everybody's fed. I just don't, that outdated thing of,
It's the domestic thing. It's that domestic thing. I get it because here's my whole thing. I don't want to clean for someone. Like I
oh,
would rather hire someone to help. Like I'd rather be scraping my money up to hire someone to help clean my house than me clean my own house. Like I would rather be like doing work, like building my business and doing all that, being behind the computer or spending time with my kids than cleaning a toilet. Like I just I don't like the domestic part of that.
I agree completely. And I just feel like that, I'm not saying all men are like this, but if I have a career and I've got my side hustle. I'm always gonna have a side hustle.
Yeah.
I love a good
I
side
love
hustle.
it.
Doesn't matter. Like, and I'm doing, of course, I'm here for my kids, doing things with them. It's like, I don't want to have the pressure of making sure you have clean underwear and that you've had a meal and that I'm picking up after you. Like, I
Right.
don't want the extra responsibility,
Mhm.
you know.
I get you 100%.
I just
Yeah.
and I think that's one thing. Like, I know there are guys out there that literally don't mind switching their own clothes around. And I
Mhm.
know there are guys that are like, I don't care if we DoorDash 3 nights in a row. I'm tired
Right.
too.
Right. 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 Right.
I mean, I know there are guys out there that's like that, but I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I am just saying the dominating males that I have encountered in my life are just the
Yeah.
mentality, they have that
Yeah.
mentality.
I agree. I agree completely. Because that's a part of where I have a hard time dating myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I just do. And like I said, I would rather have a companion. And I like to travel. So I'd rather have a companion to travel and, hang out with and stuff when I am not working on my business and, my all my stuff or, with the kids.
For
So
sure. I mean,
I
I
don't
think
really even mind a man around just to even like hang out with the kids. Like, if he's a good enough guy, like I don't mind. Like I like that family stuff. I'm all about family, but I don't
oh
know.
yeah.
Like,
I had a friend of mine, he told me how he got his wife. And he said that when he met his wife, she had a son. And he told her, he said, why don't I take you to McDonald's on our first date and you can bring your son?
oh, oh God.
Yeah. And of course,
Oh,
he's an older gentleman. So
yeah.
it was back when, McDonald's was a big deal to kids,
Oh, yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
And so she melted like butter for him when he mentioned that.
Oh,
And they went and, he took them to McDonald's, got the kid a Happy Meal, he played in the place and all that stuff. And I looked at him and I said, if a man asked me that today, I would run, and he was like, what? I said, look, because he's an older guy. I was like, that is I mean, that's a lovely story. And that
it
probably,
is a lovely story.
yeah,
It got me going.
that probably worked in 1975.
Actually, it did.
However, if you try to tell a woman, hey, what are you and your kids doing? I want to take y'all out on the first time, I'm not letting my kids meet you.
I think it all depends on the situation, like how long they have talked prior. Like, because I am a type of person that I generally don't even go on a date unless I've known the gentleman for a little bit. Like, I'm not one, like, first of all, I don't do any dating sites. I've tried them, I've done it. I'm not successful with it. I know some people are very successful with it. I am not.
Same.
I just am not. Um, and I'm just someone like when I do meet someone, I really like to get to know them prior than me like going out with them. I just
Yeah.
do. I'm not gonna just go out on a date with you. Like, in fact, there's like this one dude, he's been like trying to message me through like social media. And he's like, I'm like, dude, you're not gonna get like a chance with me because I don't even know you. First of all, I'm not gonna like hook up with someone on social media. And another thing is I'm never gonna date you. So like just leave me alone.
I know. And you know what's so weird? I almost feel like men kind of feel like they're entitled to, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe like they're like entitled to ask you those kind of things to kind of pester you in a way until they get what they want. Like, I mean, no means no, buddy, but no means no.
No, I
And
know.
if you kind of can't take the hint, then it's like,
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
right. Like
You
move
know,
on. Boundaries. We're going back to boundaries.
there we go.
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Yes.
The whole online dating thing didn't work for me either. Like,
No.
first of all, if I get a green text message from you, that tells me you're using an Android. Okay. It hurts my eyes.
Right?
I'm like, first of all, sir, I'm gonna need you to upgrade your phone and get an iPhone. in order for us to communicate properly. I mean, can you see my emojis? I'll never know.
No, no. Technology.
But it's like, and I don't know about you, but I would be on a text rotation and some of these guys would text me the exact same story they just told me.
Oh, it's because there's multiple, like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I don't like it. There's like so many multiple things going on. I'm like, I can't even keep up. They can't keep up. How can you like establish any type of anything when you can't even keep up?
I know. It's like I cannot continue to tell 15 strangers how my day was.
Right.
I don't like it. I think it's exhausting. And
It is exhausting.
look, I'm gonna be really honest too. I will catfish them. I will do the filters and the makeup, and I'm gonna have the best lighting, and you're not gonna see my double chin. And then,
Right.
when we get together, like I'm gonna order the left side of the menu, and you're gonna be disappointed, and I'm gonna have a very full belly. Okay,
Yes.
like
Yes. Yes.
I can't do it anymore.
I can't do it. I don't do it anymore. I like did it. Went through it. I'm like, no, if someone's interested, then we got to get to know each other. And if we haven't something in common, then, then I'll try it. And then that doesn't even guarantee it, because that's what happened to the last guy I dated. Like, I knew him for 2 years. Then we started talking again. And then like we got together, and then I was like, nope.
You feel like it's not happening.
No. Basically, he drank too much and he was an asshole. When he made his
Oh.
daughter cry, I was like, we're done. Goodbye. I am not kidding. That truly happened. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, is this really happening? Like, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Oh my God.
Like, anyways.
That is
Boundaries.
I know.
Boundaries.
I know. I was thinking the same thing, because I was just like, if I could just meet a man at the grocery store. I think I told you this the other day.
I love this. Yes.
I just want to meet a guy at the grocery store who knows how to cook, because like we already talked about, odds are I'm not going to cook. Like, I'm going to pick up something on the way home. It's not happening. And then,
But you're at the grocery store. So what's in your basket?
look, it's the bare necessities. It's probably like bread and toilet paper. Okay.
All right. You're like, I want to be a guy at the grocery store, but I don't cook. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, what's in your basket now, Ash? Come on.
That's a good point. Like, literally the bare necessities. My kids too, they're so funny, because they're like, Mom, are you gonna go grocery shopping? We need stuff for our lunches. I'm like, yeah. And like, legit, that's all I'll buy is just stuff to make their lunch. I'm like, I'm done. I don't be here another minute. But I always thought, like, I want to meet him at a grocery store. I want to not have my contacts on. I want my glasses on and my hair up in a messy bun with some leggings that's probably got a hole in the crotch, and so like my sandals and a hoodie, like just wrecked, that way he can see all of me in my glory and be like, that's the one.
Yes.
Fun.
Yes.
Eating beef jerky while she's shopping for toilet paper and bread. That's the one.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Because I know you've experienced the same thing. You go out, you've met people in bars, you've done that.
I know.
You've had friends try to set you up. It's just kind of like, no.
It is. It is. I think it's almost like really hard for friends to set you up, because I feel like I've almost, like, I won't say like met the worst people, but I've not had, like, I feel like that's almost been even worse. Like, I just don't feel like my friends have, I don't know. They always have high hopes, and their intentions are good, but it never worked out.
You're like, stop setting me up, though. Do me a favor.
Basically. Like, I'd rather be on my couch watching Netflix with my 2 dogs beside me.
Oh, I know. Oh, that's like the dream. It's
It is
like,
the dream.
you
I
know, and
love it.
it's so funny when people are like, "What are your hobbies?" I'm like, I mean, what are that?
Housewives.
Yeah, like the Bravo network. What do we
Bravo.
I mean, like, what? I don't know how to answer that. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just so funny. I don't know. Like, literally, I mean, it brings a lot of joy to my heart to come home, sit on the couch, and not use my brain for anything
I
else.
know. I
It's such
agree.
a beautiful feeling.
I know. I know. And it doesn't happen very often with being a single mom.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't. So, or being a mom in general, not even being a single mom, just a mom, a wife, single
That's true.
mom. Like, it's just, I think women take on so many roles that we're constantly just go, 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 go. And we don't have that time. A lot of times, we don't have that time to really sit and really enjoy things. I had to have my doctor just recently when I went in say, you need to like be on the couch. Like you need to get better because I was pushing myself, pushing myself, pushing myself, and I couldn't get past this cold I had. And it was like gradually getting worse. And he's
Mhm.
like, you're gonna make yourself worse. And he's like, you need to take like seriously 2 days off. And I literally just I took his advice. I took 2 days off and I did get better. So
You know what? I totally get that because this literally, I think I was probably, I don't know, maybe like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was recently divorced. My divorce was finalized, and I had got this rent house, and I was literally working. I was working my corporate job during the week, waiting tables on the weekends, and then I also had a photography business. So I was doing photo shoots in between.
mhm.
I never slept. Never.
Yeah.
Because my kids were both still involved in soccer. Their dad kind of gets involved in their life when he feels like it. I mean, it's
And they
honest.
were young then too. Like because
Yeah.
they're a little bit older. They're like my kids' age. So they're a little bit more independent now.
Right.
Where
Exactly.
back then I mean, they needed mom. Like they needed you.
Yes. And it was very hard to like keep a roof over their head and kind of trying to keep them accustomed to the lifestyle they were used to when I was married.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really trying. I ended up in the ER one night because I was just not feeling well. I mean, like I instantly started running fever. I didn't know what was going on. I felt really sick. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go. Actually, it was like urgent care.
Yeah.
And I just went to urgent care and I was like, look, can you just give me a steroid shot? Give me some antibiotics, send me on my way. Like, I don't have time to be sick. And he was like, what is your schedule like? And when I just told him, I mean, and I was exhausted. I mean, it was the middle of the night and I told him what my schedule was like. And he just looked at me and took my hand and he was like, you really have to slow down and take care of yourself. You're so
Yeah.
busy trying to take care of everyone else. Who is taking care of you?
Right.
And I was like, I fucking cried
I
when
know.
that doctor took
I
my
know
hand.
that feeling. I
And
know.
I was just crying. And I was thinking though, I know we're both single moms, but I was thinking about how much I really busted my ass when I was married too.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
totally busted my ass when I was married.
I mean, I
Yeah.
yes, and isn't it crazy? Because I feel like I'm not
I
trying to.
never want to go back to that. When I think about my years being married and having my babies, they were babies at the time. Like I left my ex-husband when Carl was like one. Like they were babies.
Oh my
And
god.
I never want to go back to that. That to me was like a real living hell. Like I never want to go back to that in my life ever.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's very similar to mine because like Jude was like he was like 2 or 3 like when I
Yeah.
left their dad. And I just remember thinking like I was always so exhausted too, even when I was
Yeah.
married, because I was actually taking care of everything because
Yeah.
he thought just because he had a job that he didn't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, why? I think that's probably why I refused to cook really, because I did, like, I cooked so much for that man, you know, and now I'm just like, fuck
You
you.
got some PTSD from cooking.
I do, because like I cooked so much for him. I would get up in the morning and cook. I would make sure his laundry was
Right.
done. And this was on top of having a full-time job. I
I
mean,
know. I was working full time too, and I was doing all that when I was married, and the kids were. I'll never forget when I had the flu so bad, and Carl wasn't even born yet, and Caitlin had to be like maybe 1 or 2. I had the flu so bad, I couldn't even pick Caitlin up. I was bawling my eyes out. My ex-husband got drunk the night before, so he's all hungover. He wouldn't even get out of bed. I had to call his mom for her to come and help me take care of my daughter.
oh my God.
I'll never forget that. And then I was like, I am not doing this. And then I got pregnant. And then I was like, damn, I'm like really leaving.
You're like, once it's out, it's done.
I'm like, I'm out of here.
You know, it's just, I know that not all men are like this.
No, they're not.
They're
No.
not,
I
but
just have shitty taste of men.
same. Our pickers were off.
My picker was so off. It's been off for a while.
We need to go get it adjusted.
Yes.
Let's just go to the chiropractor and be like, hey, our pickers don't work.
Yeah.
And, can we get an adjustment? Like, how does that happen? They would probably look at it like, what the hell is a
Oh my gosh. My chiropractor Morgan is a crack up. She would look at me and start dying. Like, can you just adjust my picker?
Oh, please.
I need a lovely husband.
Lord Jesus, fix it.
Oh.
But and it's so crazy to me how like women, it's just like we almost naturally slip into those roles of, hey, end all be all do all kind of thing. And it used to trigger
Take
me.
on the world.
Yes, it used to trigger me when my ex mother-in-law would be like, oh, well, can you get, Jeff to watch the kids? And I'm like, what do you mean what? What do you mean? Like, you mean be their father? Like, raise? What do you mean? Like, this is when we were married and I would have something that I need to go do, and it's just like, I'm like, oh my God. And I would just think about it. I'm like, when a father keeps the kids, it's babysitting. It's just crazy to me.
I know.
I just
hold a lot of hats. I mean, we do. It's crazy, but you do got to set. And I think that goes back to, again, like what we keep on going back to with the boundaries is that we literally have to have boundaries to have a healthy life.
Yes.
And every woman I've talked to is the same way. It's like you and I, like majority of women, we take on the world.
It's true. Like, I mean, and I even got that when I was like so focused on work and doing things, even as being divorced, I kind of had to stop and be like, I really need to carve out time to spend with my children.
Yeah, I had to learn that. I really had to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like I was like, you know what? This is like, I almost had to put it on a calendar, as sad as that is. Like I had to really like calendar up, like, this is the time I'm spending with the kids. Like, I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to do this. Like, I actually had to plan like in my head so I could like actually have that one-on-one time, because or else like schoolwork or like sports or me working, like all of that would play into play.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, it's just, to me, you know what, I feel like with us having issues, being equal to men, and we fight against a lot of old ass narratives and conditioning from society, from our environment. I feel like it's totally doable though for women to change the way that the roles are and how we've been made to be perceived. I just feel like there's got to be enough of us to really push for that. you
Right.
know.
And the roles can be like, it doesn't have to be like a mom staying at home. I actually have a couple clients that actually their husbands stay at home. And they're the ones who actually, oh yeah.
I would
And their
love that.
husbands are like super cool. And they play like the role like totally awesome. And the moms are they're the breadwinners. They're the ones that make like the money and take care of everything. And fathers, the men, they actually stay home, make sure the kids like get to school and get off the bus and take care of like their, school stuff. And you know what? Those two marriages actually fall into the 10 percentile that I talked about prior. Yep.
What?
Swear to God.
Oh my God.
Swear to God. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's,
we don't know not all marriage is perfect, but their marriages, both of them, they definitely fall into that 10 percentile.
oh my God. I love
Mhm.
that so
I
much.
know. Isn't that awesome?
Ooh.
Yeah. I know.
If I had a man at home, oh my God, that'd be so great.
I always thought I would love it too. Seriously.
I
I'd be all
would.
about it. Yeah.
I'd be like, I will bring home the money. Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
to
know.
have my laundry done for me, like, oh my God.
Well, why do you think men love it so much? They have someone to cook and clean and all that stuff. It isn't, it's a luxury. It's great.
Oh, Jesus.
You know? I don't know.
You know what? You know what I just need to do really
Hmm.
is I just need to make sure that I have a really good vibrator and a really kick-ass cleaning lady who can cook and
Yes.
clean.
Those are number ones in my book.
That's all I need.
Seriously.
That's all I need. Oh my God. So great.
I know. I love it.
Oh my God. But I have to say, and I feel like this also needs to be said, you know, I don't shame a woman either for enjoying that, for enjoying
No,
being
not
married.
at all.
Yeah, like some
Yeah.
women really love it. I mean, they love being at home and they love cooking and
Yeah.
cleaning, or they love working and cooking and cleaning. Some women really like that and embody that role completely, and that's totally fine.
I always say I surround myself with queens, and I really do. I have all this great network of queens around me. And one of my queens, actually, her kids now are out of college. They are now just getting married and having kids. But she was a stay-at-home mom. And she was good at it. Like she enjoyed it. She was good at it. She helped a little bit with the business, with the bookkeeping and stuff, but she was that stay-at-home mom. And when the kids left and were gone, she actually ended up starting her cleaning business, and she cleans because she really enjoys it. Yeah, and she makes great money.
I was gonna say those women that do that, like they make good money.
Oh, they make really good money. And she does. And I'm super proud of her. I mean, I love her dearly as a friend, but she, excuse me, she is really a cool ass person. And both of her kids very successful, great individuals. Like I absolutely love her family. But yeah, like she did all the volunteering, like at the school. She did the whole stay-at-home mom thing, and she was very successful at it.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I had a friend that really, really loved it, and she homeschooled her boys, and they
Oh,
went off to
wow.
college and did all that. I mean, yeah, I mean, she fucking rocked at it, and she enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was her cup of tea. I just feel like I just don't. My biggest thing is I want to have the choice.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. It's like just let women have the choice if they want to take on those roles or not.
Well, and not be put down if we choose not to, or
Yeah.
to choose to set like our own life. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Because you also get women who will shame other women for
Mhm.
either being a career mom or
Yeah.
a career woman and not having kids, choosing to not
Yeah.
have kids. And then you also,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a whole other thing too. Yeah.
and I mean, honestly, like if God love my firstborn, I love her very, very much. She was conceived in the back of a 2006 Chevy Cobalt.
I love it. That's so fantastic.
But she was definitely a surprise when I was in
Yeah.
college. But let me tell you something. My plan was like not to have kids. Like I didn't even want to have kids till I was in my 30s, because I wanted to go to school out of state. I want to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen that way. But I definitely applaud women for knowing that, hey, you know what, being a mom's not my cup of tea, and I choose to do whatever the
Right.
hell I want. I mean,
Right.
I just think it's so crazy how, pressured we are to just like you said, take on the role, but it's like, hey, get the education. Oh, wait, get the good husband. Oh, have the good career. Oh, but don't spend too much time away from your kids. Oh, but make sure you're cooking and cleaning. I mean, it's just, oh, and you have to
Yeah.
look fabulous while you
Oh
do
yeah. That's a whole other thing too, is that you have to look like a rock star model doing all of this.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Like,
a,
God forbid, like you didn't put makeup on today, or God forbid you didn't do your hair.
yeah, or God forbid you have some cellulite when you wear those shorts.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other thing. Body shaming. Oh, don't even get me started on that one.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah,
I
I
know.
don't like that.
Because I'm just thinking, like, the whole, you know, equality thing, I just feel like it's across the board,
It is
When,
across the board. And
what,
we're just discussing the parts about women. I mean, there's equality. Like, my daughter is a lesbian. That's a whole other thing when it comes to like, and she's only 15. And let me tell you, some of the stuff that she gets dealt with at school, and I'm like, what year are we in? So, like, and then of course we have the equality of like the color of your skin. And just there's so much out there. It's like, why are all these judgments? Like, why are we judging each other where we are today?
yes, and it's really funny that I love that you just opened up about your daughter being a lesbian, by the way.
Thank you.
I think
I'm
that's,
proud of my daughter. And if she chooses not to be a lesbian in 10 years, I'll support her too. Like, whatever she wants.
I think that's great.
Mhm.
My daughter, I feel like our daughters are just very similar because my daughter is very like outspoken about,
Oh, yeah.
what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. And she's very outspoken. And I actually hate the town that my kids go to school in because it is very, I mean, I'm not trying to get too political here. I'm just going to say it's extreme radical right side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Makes it hard.
yes, and my daughter, I love her so much, and my son too. They really have such big hearts. And my daughter really wanted to support Black businesses.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and she got really excited. So we
Aw.
went, and I was like, hell yeah, we can. And she ended up buying this BLM mask.
Yeah.
She was so proud of it. And because, if it was up to her, she'd be marching in the streets and like rioting against the cops. But I'm like, you're 13, like
Right. Settle down. Settle down. That's what I was gonna tell my daughter.
wow, like
Settle down.
I don't mind. Like, yes, we'll go march and hold a sign, but maybe trying to
Let's
fight the
bring it
police.
down a notch.
Yeah. Like, can you not? I don't want you to go
Yeah.
to juvie right now.
No.
But it was funny because she was so excited about it. And I knew what was going to be in store for her when she wore that mask to school.
Yeah.
But I just was like, you know what, I'm going to let it go. It's fine because, she's got to learn one way or the other, this is the real world.
This is the real world.
So
Absolutely.
yes. And she wore the mask, and she almost daily by multiple kids would get harassed for it.
Mhm.
And it was very upsetting to me. She would come home, she would get upset. I don't know what to do. I said, you keep wearing it. That's what you do. I said,
Aw,
you keep wearing it.
I
Be-
love that. Be
Because,
her.
mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, you keep doing it. I was like, because I said, these kids don't know what they're saying. They're being taught the wrong things. And so they're
Aw.
literally just regurgitating it. So, I told her it's very important that you stand up for what you believe in
I
and don't
believe that.
get down, And so
I love that.
it was a big learning experience for her. And I don't know, I just, it kind of made me sad, but at the same time, I was thinking, it's really nothing in comparison to what other people have to go through daily.
Yeah.
Think about it. And she even kind of made that comment too. She was like, I can only imagine if the color of my skin was different, what kind of treatment I would be receiving,
Yeah.
not just for the mask. And I said, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I
There's
just
a lot of judgment out there.
I know. And
Crazy. It
think
just
it's,
really is.
I feel like it's just so important that, and this is going to come across like so cheesy, but I feel like the more that we're on the same page for positive change and equality in every category, the better it will be, because
Oh, yeah.
it'll be the majority of the people working together to
Right.
everything,
And I do believe that as time progresses, change will happen. I do believe it. Because even if you look back, like think about even how bad it was. When I think about even a lesbian, like my daughter, and I think about like if she would have came out like I like was in high school in the 90s, I'm like, we were still open to that, but we were not as open as we are now. Like
Right.
it was a total like, so I just keep on like, and this might be me, rainbows and unicorns, because I tend to be that way sometimes. So I just have high hopes for like humanity. I really do. And as like generations come through, like, it just keeps on getting better and better.
No, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, to just to kind of give an example, when I came on board with the company that I'm at, it was a very, very toxic environment. Like
Yeah.
in my department, it was. And whenever I came on board, there were changes that had to be made. And I worked really hard to try to maintain a positive outlook, to try to encourage people, make them feel valued, be genuine.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, there's laughter all day, every day in my department. And I am
I
so
love it.
like, and it was literally just being real and
Mhm.
genuine,
Right.
and actually having some compassion for the people that work there in my department, and showing that. And so, I mean, a little bit of that really goes a long way,
I do agree with that.
and I just feel like the more that people are open to being educated and shifting their perspective,
Mhm.
um with grace,
Yeah.
because there's a way
Yeah.
to do it,
Absolutely, there's a way to do it.
because the cancel culture is just so toxic. There's no room for growth.
Mhm.
So I just feel like there's a way to do it to where we can actually shift and make those improvements.
I agree. Absolutely, I agree. And it will happen. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it will too. I think we'll get there. There's already been so many changes if you think
I
about it.
know.
A lot of
Some
stuff.
good changes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some good changes. So I see it too.
Well, I'm so excited. This was our first
I
episode.
know. It was fantastic. I loved it.
I love how many tangents we got on, and then it all just kind of tied together. I think it's great.
I know. Yeah.
So I'm excited because, well, I'm not going to give it away, but I'm just really excited for our next episode because I have got some really awesome bucket list things coming up for me, as do you.
I do. I have a whole list of things too. And I'm very excited about it. One thing too, I want to mention to our listeners is if you, girlfriend, have any questions for Miss Ash and I, definitely email us because we're ready to take on any questions and answer and be there for you.
Oh, for sure. Because that's one of the things that we actually, officially and unofficially specialize in.
Right? Yes.
So it's just I love it because we both really enjoy helping people
Yeah.
and helping give insights and all the things. I mean, it's so great. And I'm gonna actually leave our information, our contact info in the show notes. So that email will be available to anyone that wants to reach out to us, and we will read your question on air. And what you
Yes.
can do is if you would like to remain anonymous or you know, use an alias, whatever you like, that's
Mhm.
fine. We respect that. So
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
totally looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what kind of questions we get.
Yeah, absolutely. And it could be anything. Just throw it out there to us. Anything.
I know. Ooh,
Yeah. Woo.
it'll be so good.
I know.
Oh, all right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. We
Yes.
appreciate you, and we've had a blast talking about our topics today. And I guess we will catch you next time.
Yeah.